we are live. Hello everyone, welcome to Times of Comedy, and I hereby welcome all the panelists into the session. Thank you so much for joining. And as Mr. Will Weigler always say, and he has this term, I'm marketing your term in a very youth scale here in India. He always used this like namaste away into the time of quarantine. He has invented this, which is a very polite way to say someone that please don't shake hand like into the time of COVID. So thank you, Will, for giving us this gesture. Right. So we have 5 people with us. We have 5 panelists with us as team speakers. We have Mr. Will Weigler with us. Will is a theater practitioner. He's into Canada right now, and he's into the research of a very specific subject called alchemy of astonishment. As well as Will is into the different, like understanding different kinds of humor. So I and Will quite often have discussions about the specific topics and specific genres of humor. And that's what we are going to talk today as well. We have Mr. Gunjan Joshi. Gunjan sir is a esteemed, renowned writer into the industry of India. And he has been a writer of many famous and very popular and very renowned television comedy shows, as well as he is into like various kinds of comedy genres into the writing format. We have Ojas Rawal with us. Mr. Ojas is a stand-up comedian, a singer, an actor, and a much more. He's into the comedy part since long, and he's performing and writing humor since quite a couple of years. And then we have Dr. Ranjit Vank with us. Dr. Ranjit is a comedian, a humorist, and he's also into the specific traditional genre of humor, which is folklore. Gujarati में जने लोक वार्ता कहिए, हिंदी में हम जैसे लोक कहानियां कहते हैं. He's into the folklore format, and he's researching quite a long and quite a deep into the format of folklores and humor. So the major language of the session, will keep it in English. But if any performer would like to, or any panelist would like to speak in Hindi or Gujarati, will prefer the second language Hindi. So आप में से कुछ अगर हिंदी perform करेंगे, तो I'll be trying to translate it into the other language. So comfort is the main thing. Make sure that you speak into a language which you are comfortable in, and to make it understandable for the other panelists, I'll be translating a gist out of the sentence that is getting spoken, right? And just by please correct me if anywhere I'm like failing to translate the gist. So please help me out with that.
For sure.
Okay. So first of all of you are like quite experienced into the industry. I'm just feeling like that guy in the industry who is trying to learn. So I'll be asking questions, and you guys will be the people who will throwing light onto the sentence that onto the topic which I would like to hear about. So we'll start with a very basic question to each 4 of you. Like I'll be asking a specific question to a specific panelist, and then after that we can move ahead with the general discussion. So we'll start with we'll start with Mr. Will. That sounds good. We'll start with Mr. Will Weigler. So Will would like to ask you about in the country which you are living in, or you are born and brought up in, how big is the comedy industry, and how old or how far the comedy industry has come, or how much years it's been an established comedy industry, or what is comedy in your country?
I have to begin with an apology, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm honored to be here. I feel that I am looking up at all of you for your expertise in this field. I come as a theater director,
right,
and playwright and a producer, a storyteller, and I've been telling jokes since I was a small boy.
Wow.
But I'm not really in this industry.
Okay.
As far as comedy goes, I'm very interested in joke theory,
okay,
and have done a lot of my own sort of personal research on that. I can't really speak to any sense about the industry as such.
Right.
I'll just offer my perspectives on the idea of
making a joke or
humor,
cracking a joke.
Yeah. Or the nature of humor. That's
on the nature of humor.
And in fact, a lot of the work that I do as a theater director is involved in physical comedy.
Okay.
And what's the difference between clever jokes and funny material, and
right,
actually setting up situations that are funny, that I think you can apply to stand up.
Mm.
But those kinds of questions I would defer to my colleagues here.
Definitely. So I'll be asking you about the theories. Will be discussing with you about the joke theories and how a particular joke works on which kind of crowd, and that sort of humor we'll be discussing with you in this session for sure. Right.
Yes, thank you.
Then we have Ojas Rawal with us. Ojas, I would like to ask a very simple question. You can answer it in English or Hindi, and the question is ki, how long is the comedy industry in Gujarat/India that you are thinking of? Which are the most like સૌથી વધારે છેવાડામાં આપણે જઈએ, like which are the most veteran comedians or comedy genres that you have experienced, or where it all started from, in according to like me and I know, ક્યાંથી શરૂ થઈ ઘટના જે તમને યાદ હોય ત્યાંથી?
મને જ્યાં સુધી યાદ છે, if I can jog my memory, then my first lessons or learnings were from the audio tapes that my mother would give me, the two side A and side B tapes of legendary performers like Shabuddin Sahib Rathod, Kirit Vyas, so on and so forth. But and then came this generation of stand-up comedy where it is the classic stand-up. So the only difference that was earlier present between these cassettes, these performers in the cassettes, was it was sit-down comedy. So they would come together and sit down, and there used to be a variety program that typically happened where there is a singer, there is a lead male singer, there is a lead female singer, there is somebody who is a litterateur, and then there is also a comedian, and this kind of a lok dairo was the typical setting where a variety of artists would come together. They would also have a live band. So there are musicians with them on stage. So this was my first experience with it, and I fell in love with it instantaneously. Over time, obviously, stand-up, which is having maybe a small crowd of people in a comedy club with a comedian standing in front of a mic and performing, that kind of was given a big push after programs like the Comedy Circus or the Laughter Challenge, where a lot of talent kind of got the Great Indian Laughter Challenge, and all seasons of it. Finish Indian scenario, including Gujarati. So that is as far, I mean, if I go far back, then these are the comedians that I would look at. So then obviously then there is Bikudan Gadvi and so on and so forth. And now, in fact, I have had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Vank also. Dr. Ranjit Sahib ne પણ મેં સાંભળવાનો મને લાવો મળ્યો છે, અને એ obviously એમનું જે ભાષા પર પ્રભુત્વ તો છે જ. No doubt he has this immense knowledge of the subject, but the way he presents it is something that is fascinating, that is just amazing. So I continuously build a library of artists, be it Gujarati or non-Gujarati, whom I see and kind of imbibe or learn.
Right. So coming to Dr. Vank, and Ranjit भाई से हम ये क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे यहाँ पे कि like you are more into the લોક વાર્તા ફોર્મેટ. આપ લોક વાર્તાઓને બહુ જ સારી રીતે જાણો છો, સમજો છો અને રજૂ પણ કરો છો. તો આપણે આ લોક વાર્તાના ફોર્મેટમાં હ્યુમર કઈ રીતે ઇન્કોર્પોરેટ છે? વાર્તા કહેવાનો એક એજન્ટ હોય છે, એક ઝરિયો હોય છે કે જેમાં કોમેડી પણ હોય, હાસ્યની વાત પણ હોય, અને એનાથી એ વાત આગળ બહુ સારી રીતે ઉતારી શકાય, કે પછી બહુ મોટો હિસ્સો છે કોમેડી આ લોક વાર્તાઓનો? You can answer it in Gujarati or Hindi, whichever comfortable, sir.
અમિતભાઈ, હું બોલીશ ગુજરાતીમાં.
બિલકુલ રણજીતભાઈ.
મને મારી માતૃભાષા ગમે છે, કારણ કે મને મારી માં ગમે છે.
બિલકુલ, ક્યા વાત.
એટલે લોક સાહિત્યમાં 9 રસો છે, અને તમામ રસની વાતો એ ડાયરામાં થતી હતી. ડાયરો પહેલા ડેલીએ થતો, એટલે એ વખતે કોઈ કલાકાર નહીં અને કોઈ શ્રોતા નહીં. જેને જે સારી વાત લાગી હોય એ વાત ડાયરામાં રજૂ કરતા. એમ થતા ધીમે ધીમે ડાયરાએ પ્રોફેશનલ સ્વરૂપ ધારણ કર્યું, અને કાંજીભૂટા બારોટ એ આમ તો લોકવાર્તાના કલાકાર, પણ એમની વાર્તાઓ 99 રસની વાર્તાઓ હતી, એમાં હાસ્યરસની વાતો એ અદ્ભુત કરતા. એક એવો પ્રસંગ બનેલો કે કાનજી બાપા દિલ્હી, એ વખતે ઇન્દિરા ગાંધી પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર હતા, એને મળવા માટે ગયેલા, અને ઇન્દિરા ગાંધી સીડીથી નીચે ઉતરતા હતા. આપણે સૌ જાણીએ છીએ કે પ્રિયદર્શિની એ સ્પીડી બહુ હતા, બહુ ઝડપથી એમના તમામ કાર્યો કરતા. એ સીડી ઝડપથી ઉતરતા હતા, એને જોઈને કાનજી બાપાએ એની ગુજરાતી દેશી બોલીમાં કીધું કે ઝાખણ હાલી આવતી હોય એવું લાગે છે.
ઝાખણ?
हाँ, એટલે इंदिराजी नीचे आવીને પૂછ્યું કે आप मेरे बारे में कोई कमेंट कर रहे थे. એટલે સાથે હતા એમણે કીધું કે इन्होंने आपको लायनेस की उपमा दी है. ઝાખણ એ કાઠિયાવાડી શબ્દ છે, સિંહણ માટે વપરાતો શબ્દ. એટલે એને કીધું ઝાખણ જેવી લાગે છે. હવે પ્રશંસા તો પ્રભુને વાલી હોય. એટલે इंदिराजीએ કીધું કે ये क्या कर रहे हैं? એને કીધું કે ये हमारे फोक स्टोरी टेलर है, बहुत अच्छे वार्ताकार है. अच्छा, ये गुजराती में वार्ता करते हैं? तो हाँ, तो इनसे पूछो कि खेमरो लोडन के बारे में जानते हैं? इनको पूछो कि ये जसमा ओडन के बारे में जानते हैं? આવી બે ત્રણ વાતો એમણે કરી. કાનજી બાપાએ એની સાથે હતા, એને કીધું કે એને કયો કે જસમા ઓડણની વાર્તા સાંભળવી હોય તો 2 મિનિટમાં નહીં સંભળાય, એના માટે આખી રાત આપવી પડશે. અને ચાંદની ચોકમાં સેન્ટ્રલ ગવર્મેન્ટના ખર્ચે કોઈ ગુજરાતી કલાકારનો પહેલો જાહેર કાર્યક્રમ એ કાનજી બાપાનો વાર્તાનો થયેલો.
વાહ!
ત્યાં એમણે આખી રાત માટે વાર્તા કરેલી. એટલે એ લોકવાર્તાના સ્વરૂપોમાં હાસ્યની વાતો આવતી. એમ થતા 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 ધીમે ધીમે દરેક રસના અલગ અલગ કલાકારો થતા ગયા. અને એ રીતે આપણને મુરબ્બી શાહબુદ્દીન સાહેબ રાઠોડ, ભીખુદાનભાઈ ગઢવી, હીરાભલા વ્યાસ, સાંપ્રત સમયમાં ધીરુભાઈ સરવૈયા, આ તમામ કલાકારો એ આપણને મળ્યા. રમણીકભાઈ દુધરેજિયા. આ રીતે આખી શરૂઆત છે ને આપણે તો એમના ચીલે જ ચાલવાનું છે.
બિલકુલ 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 બિલકુલ. So with this Gunjan sir से हम पूछेंगे यहाँ पे. Gunjan sir is into the writing of comedy. So दो चीजें सर मेरे दिमाग में आती है जो मैं यहाँ पे जानना चाहूंगा आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी. एक चीज ये है कि कॉमेडी परफॉर्मिंग एंड कॉमेडी राइटिंग ये दो अलग अलग विधाएं भी हैं. इंटरएक्टिव मतलब कनेक्टेड तो है ही, लेकिन कॉमेडी राइटिंग सिर्फ परफॉर्म करने के लिए ही लिखी जाए वैसा जरूरी नहीं है. लिटरेचर भी अपना एक बिल्कुल बड़ा माध्यम है. तो व्हाट इज द बेसिक डिफरेंस बिटवीन द राइटिंग ऑफ ह्यूमर एंड द परफॉर्मिंग काइंड ऑफ ह्यूमर? इन दोनों में सबसे बड़ा अंतर क्या आता है? ये पहली चीज मैं यहाँ पे जानना चाहूंगा. और दूसरी चीज यहाँ पे मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि व्हाट इज एन अल्टीमेट रोल ऑफ समवन हु इज क्रिएटिंग ह्यूमर? If I'm creating humor, हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. The second point was, what is an ultimate role of someone who is creating humor? Is it to make people laugh? Is it to raise a point? Is it to say something which should be said? What is an ultimate role of an humor creator? ये दो चीजें आपसे जानना चाहेंगे.
ओके, तो हम पहले सवाल से बात करते हैं कि कॉमेडी लिखने और परफॉर्म करने में क्या फर्क है. राइट,
बिल्कुल
राइट. तो बेसिकली वही फर्क है जो लिखने और परफॉर्म करने में है. वो चाहे कॉमेडी हो, ट्रेजेडी हो या कोई सी भी चीज हो. ठीक है. जब आप परफॉर्म करते हो तो आपके पास कुछ लिबर्टी एक्स्ट्रा होती है. आपके पास आपकी बॉडी लाइन होती है, आपके पास आपके शब्दों का उतार चढ़ाव होता है, वॉइस का उतार चढ़ाव होता है, सॉरी शब्दों का नहीं, वॉइस का उतार चढ़ाव होता है. आप बहुत सारी चीजें एक्सप्रेशन से कह देते हो, बहुत सारी चीज बिना कहे कह देते हो. वो सारी चीजें आपके पास पूरे 9 रस साथ में होते हैं. सो ऑफकोर्स परफॉर्म करना ज्यादा रिच होता है. और जब लिखने की बात होती है तो, और जब आप परफॉर्म करते हो तो आपके पास चूंकि एक्सप्रेशन होते हैं, तो एक्सप्रेशन एक यूनिवर्सल लैंग्वेज है जो सब लोग पहचान पाते हैं, सब लोग समझ पाते हैं.
राइट.
आप लिखते हो तो प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाती है कि आप शब्दों में बन जाते हो. तो आपको शब्दों का नाप तो लाना चाहिए, आपको शब्दों को ऊपर नीचे करना आना चाहिए, और आपका हर पंच होना चाहिए. जैसे कई बार हम जब हम लिखते हैं, और हम आपको तो पता ही है कि लिखते भी हैं और परफॉर्मेंस तैयार भी करवाते हैं. तो जो बीच में जो लोग होते हैं क्रिएटिव्स वगैरह, उनको समझाना पड़ता है कि ये कैसे जाएगा, क्या जाएगा और कैसे इसको परफॉर्म किया जाएगा, तब जाके इसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा, वो अलग बात होगी। बट फिर भी लिखना मुश्किल है, क्योंकि लिखने में आपके पास सिर्फ शब्द होते हैं और कुछ नहीं होता है। और शब्द ऐसे होने चाहिए जो सामने वाले के मूड को बांध के रखे। सामने वाला किसी भी मूड में हो, उसको बांध के रखेगा। अगर मैं आपके सामने परफॉर्म कर रहा हूं तो मैं आपकी आंखों से खुद को बांध सकता हूं, मैं आपकी आंखों में देख के आपको बांध सकता हूँ और उसके बाद मैं परफॉर्म कर सकता हूँ। फिर मैं जो दिखाऊंगा वो आप देखोगे,
राइट।
लेकिन अगर मैंने लिख के कुछ आपको दे दिया है तो मैं आपके मन को नहीं बांध सकता।
राइट। एंड व्हेन इट इज
तो
आल्सो समथिंग लाइक व्हेन यू आर परफॉर्मिंग, जब एक आदमी परफॉर्म कर रहा है वो एक सिचुएशन में है, व्हेन समवन इज परफॉर्मिंग, so I'll also be translating to this to Will in between. So we are discussing about the difference between writing comedy and performing comedy. And according to Mr. Gunjan, the very valid point here he's making is that into the performing format of comedy, you have several ways to attract people or getting their attention span, because in that case you can do it with your eyes, with your facial expressions, and there is a situation which you and the audience both are situated in. So there are a lot of ways that audience can get interested into, but when it comes to comedy writing, you just have words to express what you want to say. So you need to be very precise in choosing the words, and then it should also hit onto the particular point into the reader's mind which you want to point out. So it is kind of becomes very tough when it comes to writing, when we are comparing it to the performing of comedy. Right. Gunjan sir, please continue.
Tough, or you can say tricky. It's little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky matter. Or when you are writing for a performer, then it's totally different job.
Okay.
Because sometimes you write some comedy which you cannot perform. So you have to find out one बीच का रास्ता ढूंढना पड़ता है आपको,
right,
कि आपका लिखा हुआ भी अप्रूव हो जाए और परफॉर्मेंस भी उससे आगे बढ़े। और उसमें सबसे ज्यादा जिसका रोल होता है वो होता है परफॉर्मर का।
True.
या तो हम बताएं कि परफॉर्मेंस कैसी होगी, या परफॉर्मर अपने अगले लेवल तक ले जाए। जैसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो परफॉर्मेंस को नेक्स्ट लेवल तक ले आते हैं, और बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो परफॉर्मेंस को काफी डाउन कर देते हैं। हमारे जनरली शूट के बाद इस तरह की बात होती है यार कि ये तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया है, और अधिकतर बातें होती है यार ये साला जितना मजा वहां पर आ रहा था
लिखने के टाइम पे था
उतना मजा नहीं आ रहा है।
Right.
So this is the basic difference, but still एक दूसरे के पूरक है यार ये। क्योंकि अगर आप खुद भी अगर परफॉर्म करोगे तो आप पहले उसे लिखोगे।
बिल्कुल।
एनीवन, मतलब आप जितने भी लोग हैं अच्छे खासे परफॉर्मर हैं, तो अगर आप कुछ भी परफॉर्म करोगे तो आप पहले उसे लिखोगे एंड देन आप उसे परफॉर्म करोगे। अगर मैं लिखूंगा तो उसे या तो मैं ही परफॉर्म करूंगा या किसी और से परफॉर्म करवाऊंगा।
Right.
ठीक है, ये अलग बात है। अगर बुक छपवाने की बात हो या कुछ और करवाने की बात हो तो वो अलग लेवल पर बात चली जाती है कि वो पढ़ के आदमी क्या फील करेगा। इट्स लाइक कवि सम्मेलन की कविता अलग होती है और बुक की कविता अलग होती है।
Right.
अगर आपने ध्यान दिया, कवि सम्मेलन में सीधे सीधे देशवासियों सुनो ये, और बुक में कई बार आप अपनी मन की बात लिख पाते हो, बहुत छोटे से शब्दों में बात लिख पाते हो और लोग उसे फील भी कर लेते हैं क्योंकि बुक हाथ में।
Right.
So basically this is the difference between both
writing and performing.
things. Writing and performing. What's your next question?
Let me remind. Let me find out.
May I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Joshi?
Please.
Do you see a difference between, I mean, it seems to me a difference between writing for television, where the audience is receiving it on the screen, and live performance, where you have that exchange? In the writing of it, do you see a difference, or is it just in the delivery?
Yeah.
Where you have an audience that you can actually feel them respond, as compared to playing for a camera and knowing that they'll be watching on the other side of the television screen.
Because you've written for something like a live performance, then you can see the response in like a very general or a very direct way, that this is the response of it. But how do you measure the response of a television script which you have written and someone has performed and then it's going on air? Then how do you measure the response of that content?
So basically the difference is ki if you talk about level, then this is your writing level, this is your television level, and then it goes to the live audience का performance. ठीक है? Because when you write something for television, it's still in your hand. Okay. What you wanna edit, what you wanna add.
Right. There are a lot of factors which impact.
It always goes on your intuition. It may look nice, it may look wrong. We can say, "Acha, okay, here it is not working, but on television this will work."
Acha.
And lots of time that happen. That something is not working on set, but it is working on television. Or something is not working on television, but it is working in live.
Right.
And live shows. My lots of scripts, I read it, that's fabulous. It goes on television, they are rejected. It goes with live, they are superb.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all about control. But when you have live audience, you have much more control in you. I can say you, hey Will, मैं आपकी तरफ इशारा कर सकता हूँ. Hey Will, listen to me. है ना? Yeah. Ojas and Will. So I'm looking both of you and I'm connecting with both of you. And now if I say a small thing and that affect you like anything, then
because you have the attention.
Yeah, I got the attention. Now, if I want to do comedy, I will do comedy. If I want to do tragedy, I will do tragedy. If I want to talk seriously, I will talk seriously.
But in television, you cannot do this. You need to create the attention. You need to get the attention through the words itself. In television, you don't do that with the eyes, of course.
Of course.
Okay. So here,
and I'd love to add into that.
Please do that.
When we come around again, though, I mean,
contribution for that. Please go ahead. Please say.
One of the things that I'm very keen with understanding is the idea of implied dialogue. That how obviously the audience isn't responding, but you can set up the performance in the way that it appears like a dialogue. There's an American performer called Lisa Crone, and she said she'd been working for years and telling the same joke, and she got to the one point, and this was live performance, where just before the punchline she paused, and it dawned on her that if she waited, the audience would fill in the rest of the joke before she got there.
Right.
And there was an enormous laugh, and what a difference it was before her delivering the punchline and having that pause so that they could come back at it. And
right. So this is an art of performing, I guess. This is an art of performing, I guess, which a writer has written something very brilliant, but if a performer knows how to deliver it in a correct way according to the content which is written, so it is more of like performing the genre or the art of the artist which is performing that particular script.
I would challenge that. I think that a writer can build that in.
Okay.
The way that you set up the premise that
right.
And then an artist can take any work and try to wrench that through.
Right.
But that a writer could set it up, and that you can see it on televised performance as well. That you don't have to have the audience there, but if you allow for the viewing audience to make that realization, they're sort of in dialogue with you. And to me, that's a difference between this sort of projection. Here's my material coming at you. And this is this sort of implied dialogue of, as the lover might say, "Oh, you complete me," Actually allow them to complete us.
True. Yeah. That works, and we can create that magic through the writing process as well.
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I shake hands with that. So the question which I was going to ask to Gunjan sir, I would like to ask it to all of you. Anyone can let's promptly answer that. And the question was, what is the role of an humorist? एक comedian का क्या role होता है? Like, is it just to make people laugh, or is it to like create a point? Is it to make a point? શું હોય છે એક હાસ્યકારનો કે હાસ્ય કલાકારનો રોલ? માત્ર લોકોને હસાવવા કંઈક એવી વાત કહેવી કે જે કહેવી જોઈએ. The thing which should be said. Is it into the duty of a comedian that this thing should be said and he has the power that he can say it with a humorous perspective? Then he should. What is the role of a humorist or a comedian or a comedy creator according to you?
भाई मुझे लगता है कि
sure, anyone like okay, Gunjan sir, please.
Okay. मुझे लगता है कि कॉमेडियन का जो काम है वो सालों से मतलब अगर हम हिंदुस्तान की बात करें तो विक्रमोर्वशीयम, अभिज्ञान शाकुंतलम और नचकटिकम जैसे प्लेस की बात करें जो 4th और 5th सेंचुरीज में लिखे गए थे, या शेक्सपियर ने लिखा था कि कोई सी भी बात इस अंदाज में कही जाए, कोई सी भी बात कि वो चुभी नहीं, हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में कोई सी भी बात कही जाए, दैट्स कॉमेडी। ठीक है, तो कॉमेडियन का काम ये है कि किसी भी बात को ऐसे अंदाज में कहना कि लोग उसे हल्के अंदाज में सुने लेकिन अंदर तक जाए। वो हिंदी में कहावत है ना कि देखन में छोटे लगे घाव करे गंभीर।
Right.
So
It is saying a very deep thing in a very lighter manner. So if someone wants to get the gist, वो जिसको पकड़नी है बात वो पकड़ेगा, जो अंदर तक पहुंचेगी उसको बात। But you are saying it in a lighter manner. The ऊपरी परत जो है वो बड़ी हल्की फुल्की सी है जो तुरंत हंसा रही है।
I think इसीलिए संस्कृत नाटकों में जो विदूषक होता था वो सबकी हंसी उड़ा सकता था कि यहाँ ये लोग आए हैं, महाराजा भी आए हैं जिन्होंने ये कर दिया, तो महाराज पर भी 4 व्यंग मार देता था और लोगों पर भी 4 व्यंग मार देता था और सच्चाई जो थी वो कह देता था, एक्टर पर भी मार देता था कि भाई तू तो इस तरह का, तू तो इस तरह का है। और महाराज जो आपका कैरेक्टर है, अगर कैरेक्टर राजा है तो उसको भी बोल देता था कि भाई तू इस काबिल नहीं है। तो आई थिंक विदूषक का काम ये है, कॉमेडियन का काम ये है कि अपना पॉइंट सच बोलना और सहज तरीके से बोलना, हल्के फुल्के बोलना कि आदमी हंस भी तो और सोचे हाँ यार ये प्रॉब्लम तो है। आई थिंक ये उसकी बेसिक ड्यूटी है।
राइट। यस डॉक्टर वांक, यू आर सेइंग समथिंग। જી
હું એનું ઉદાહરણ આપીને સમજાવું।
બિલકુલ।
બહુ અઘરી વાત, આપણે માયાની પાછળ દોટ મૂકીએ છીએ, પૈસા માટે સતત દોડીએ છીએ। એ એક કોમેડિયન કેવી રીતે સમજાવે? એક વ્યક્તિ ક્યાંય પણ બહારગામ જાય તો ખાટલો સાથે લઈને જાય। કોઈ એને પૂછ્યું કે આ ખાટલો કેમ જોડે લઈ જાવ છો? એને કીધું મને મારા ખાટલા વિના ઊંઘ નથી આવતી। હવે ખરેખર જુઓ ને તો એ ઊંઘતો તો 8 કલાક અને ખાટલાને ઉપાડતો તો 16 કલાક। આ આટલે સુધી હાસ્યની વાત હતી। હવે કોમેડિયન એની એ વાતને જીવન સાથે સમજાવે કે બહુ વિચારો તો આપણે શું કરીએ છીએ, એક ક્ષણિક સુખ મેળવવા માટે થઈ અને આપણી આખી જિંદગી ઈશ્વરે આપેલું અમૂલ્ય જીવન એને આપણે ઘસી નાખીએ છીએ। પૂજ્ય ભાઈશ્રી કહે છે રમેશભાઈ એમ કે માણસ શરીર ખર્ચી નાખે છે પૈસા મેળવવા માટે અને પૈસા ખર્ચી નાખે છે શરીરને બચાવવા માટે, અંતે કાંઈ નથી બચતું। કથાકાર છે એ એમની રીતે કહે છે, કોમેડિયન આ રીતે કહે છે। કોમેડિયનનો આ રોલ છે કે જીવનની અઘરામાં અઘરી બાબત એને એકદમ સરળ શૈલીમાં સુગર કોટેડ ટેબ્લેટની જેમ સામેવાળાના ગળે ઉતરી જાય, એના શરીરમાં ધારી અસર કરે એવી રીતે કહી દેવી।
કહી શકે। Right. So it is about the saying the deep thing in a very lighter note, in a way of presentation where it sounds very light, but if you think for a bit, it is very big, or it is very deep, which he or she is trying to convey. Right. Ojas bhai, what's your point of view about this? Like, what is the role of a comedian / humorist?
Well, by definition, humorist is somebody who writes comedy. A comedian is somebody who performs comedy.
Right.
So if you look up the definition in a dictionary or somewhere, Mark Twain would be a humorist. Correct. So and you see a lot of humorists who are never comedians. They don't perform on stage.
Right.
And you see a lot of comedians who never write jokes.
Right.
They get it from somebody else. So that is, I think, the bare basic difference. But the roles of a humorist and a comedian, I think they both belong to art. दोनों का कला से, art world से connection है.
Right.
And art has the responsibility somewhere to reflect what is happening in the community, in the society, and to bring about a change. I remember, in fact, I want to share this one incident because Dr. Vank reminded me of Delhi and reminded me of Indira ji. तो ऐसी ही एक घटना थी कि जो दिनकर हमारे दिनकर जो ओज के कवि थे, तेज के कवि, दिनकर जी दिल्ली गए थे और पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू उनके साथ चल रहे थे और आई थिंक सांसद भवन की सीढ़ियां चढ़ रहे थे या उतर रहे थे, मुझे याद नहीं, लेकिन वो सांसद भवन की सीढ़ियों पर थे और तब पंडित जी थोड़ा सा स्टम्बल हो गए स्टेयरकेस पे।
ओके।
तो वो ऑलमोस्ट गिर रहे थे, तो फिर दिनकर जी ने उनका हाथ पकड़ लिया और उनको संभाल लिया।
राइट।
अब दिनकर जी तो लिखते भी थे और परफॉर्म भी करते थे, हालांकि वो हास्य कवि नहीं थे, बट वो लिखते भी थे। बट जो है रिफ्लेक्शन की मैं बात करता हूँ, तो पंडित जी ने कहा, ओ थैंक यू सो मच दिनकर जी। और इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, दिनकर जी खुद भी एक सांसद थे, तो उनका हाथ थाम लिया और तो दिनकर जी ने कहा कि नो दैट्स ऑल राइट, यू डोंट हैव टू थैंक मी, क्योंकि जब जब राजनीति के कदम डगमगाए हैं तब तब कला ने उसका साथ दिया है, तब उसका whenever politics has faltered, art has held its hand. So you don't have to thank me just because I'm an artist and you're a politician. So that is I think somewhere there an underlying meaning that if you see, why do you perform? You perform so that somebody is listening. Why do you write? So that somebody reads. Why do you sing? So that somebody is listening and right. hearing it. And I think that is the basic thing for an artist, to be heard, and heard as in what you want to say. Now, if you have the device, if you have the medium of comedy, yes, you can do that very easily. The role, I think, in my opinion, should be giving that reflecting what is happening right. in society, or reflecting what is happening in the community, and then through that device send out messages that are non-divisive, send out messages that are as a tool of nation building, community building. Yes. So that why क्यों होना चाहिए? क्योंकि it builds a conducive environment for that same art to go ahead.
Right.
તો ये इसलिए आवશ્યક हो जाता है, જે આપણે કહીએ ગુજરાતીમાં કેળવણી થવી જોઈએ. તો એ કેળવણી એટલા માટે થવી જોઈએ જેથી કરીને એ રસ્તો વધારે ક્લિયર થતો જાય.
Right. What's your views about this, Will? A role of a comedian into the society?
We haven't heard from Asnani down in the corner there. I want to make sure everyone gets heard. We haven't heard from
Okay, so Om is from my team just to manage this this entire.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
Right.
It's a marvelous question, and I agree. I mean, I don't want to repeat, because there are certain things that Dr. Vank and Gunjan Joshi said that I'm not sure what you said, so I don't want to repeat it by accident, by my ignorance. But to me, yes, I think about a humorist as being necessarily kinder. Amit, you and I have talked about humor that sort of pokes fun at those who are different, and how that can be mean-spirited and sort of making fun or lessening them. Wherever I go in the world, I ask people, what's a joke that people tell in your country that you people find funny, or with your group?
Right.
You can actually have a joke as a humorist that people will find funny because they recognize the truth of it. Right. I was trying to think of an example. I know there are a lot of engineers in India, and I remember there's a joke. Fellow said, before studying engineering, if someone had asked me what's 1 + 1, I would have said 2. Now I'd say I'm pretty sure it's 2, but we better make it 3 just to be safe. That's a joke that's, engineers would say, oh, that's hilarious, because yes, that's so true about us.
Yeah.
And I've collected a whole range of jokes from around the country that are about the other, and yet those people would laugh because they would say, oh, yes. And even outside that group, people would say, oh, that's marvelous. And I sort of see them in a new light, and I recognize the human foibles.
So coming to that, and
I
also
think that's the way that can lift us up.
Right. So sorry for interrupting, Will. So coming to that and connecting your theory of research with that, let me ask a question to you and all the other panelists there. What is the very basic thing of a joke? What is the very basic element of humor? Like, is it surprise? Is it relatability? Is it like the connection? What is the basic element of humor?
Gentlemen, what?
Anyone
I
would like to
certainly
answer
have
that?
loads of theories, but I'd love to hear you.
હું શરૂ કરું
Sure.
કારણ કે મારું તો બહુ જ બેઝિક છે. Will obviously has an entire theory on it, so I want to hear that. અને ડોક્ટર સાહેબે તો મારાથી ઘણા સિનિયર છે એટલે એમને પણ સાંભળવા છે, બટ આઈ થિંક મારા માટે બેઝિક વસ્તુ ફોર મી ઇઝ the connection, the connect of the joke. I think that the relatability of that joke. I think that I don't know if the surprise factor. Maybe for some comedians, I think it is the surprise or કેટલું એ તમને shock value જે છે એ joke ની. Oh my god! So maybe I don't know. But for me, it is, or for
The
what
connection.
I have written, it is the connect.
Right.
It may be joke or shock for somebody, but
Right. Gunjan sir, what do you think? Like, what is the basic element of humor? अगर कोई भी जोक लिखा या परफॉर्म किया जाता है, what is the basic element that creates the fun?
भाई जो ओजस ने बोला एग्जैक्ट वही मेरे विचार है.
Right.
सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी चीज कनेक्ट होना.
Hmm.
ठीक है, कनेक्ट होना. और चूंकि आप कॉमेडी लिख रहे हो, आप कॉमेडी कर रहे हो, तो वही जो मेरी कॉमेडी की थ्योरी है या कॉमेडी की थ्योरी है कि हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में आप उसमें दे दो. ऑफकोर्स उसमें शॉक वैल्यू भी है, एक शॉक वैल्यू भी होनी चाहिए, एक कुछ और चीज होनी चाहिए. जैसे हम टेलीविजन के लिए लिखते हैं तो उसमें कई बार मैसेज जैसी कोई चीज नहीं होती है, यू नो. सो वहां शॉक वैल्यू काम करता है. बट अगर मेरा बस चले तो मेरी फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी होगी कि कोई बात जा रही है कि नहीं, कुछ चीज कनेक्ट कर रही है या नहीं, वो सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है.
गुंजन जी, मुझे एक सवाल पूछना है. अमित, am I allowed to ask?
Yes, अरे बिल्कुल, please.
Yes, and please help me understand because I'm missing gold here.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
My bad, Will.
Right. So
as Will was saying, yeah, go ahead, Will.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, go ahead, Gunjan. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just sum that up for Will. So both Ojas ji and Gunjan ji said was that they feel the basic element is connect. Obviously, it is also the shock value or the surprise element into a joke which helps as well. But the very basic part at first is the connect, the part of relatability, which actually is comedy all like surrounded around.
So on those lines, I had a question for Gunjan ji. Has it ever happened that the joke that you have written is one of the weaker ones, which doesn't have that much of a shock value or that much of a connect also, and you doubt whether it may or may not connect, but the performance sometimes takes it away?
Yeah, many times.
Where you think ये joke मतलब कभी नहीं work है, it is impossible that this will ever work.
इम्पॉसिबल तो मैंने कभी दिया नहीं.
फिर वो तो फाइनल ड्राफ्ट से आगे जाएगा नहीं.
करेक्ट.
जैसे आपको लगता है ना कि यार बॉस मैं 10 जोक दे रहा हूँ, तो 10 में से 8 बेस्ट दे देता हूँ, और अब इसमें कुछ हो नहीं रहा तो 2 फंसा देता हूँ. एंड सडनली यू रियलाइज कि बॉस वो जो 2 फंसा है ना आपने, जिसके बारे में आप 10% काम करें वो काम कर लेते हैं. और मजे की बात है कि जिस पर आपको लगता है कि ये बहुत काम करेगा, उस पर बड़े समझदार भी ऐसे रहते हैं कि हाँ फिर क्या.
सर हो गया, खत्म हो गया.
Extremely researched jokes sometimes don't work, and the simplest of jokes sometimes create wonders. And
so इतने दिनों के एक्सपीरियंस में
जी,
from my long experience, what I understand in comedy, always impulse works. What you write with impulse, that works much better. And you think, and you write a punch, and that may not work.
Yeah.
So I think in comedy writing, impulse always works. So think, and then start writing and finish it as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's wow. I just found a.
I'm just taking a note. I'm just taking a note here. Right.
Yeah. No, it's very true actually. I agree.
So think about subject. Think about subject for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, 10 hours. Don't write.
Right.
But when you write, write for Salang and finish it.
Yeah.
And that will be hilarious script.
ડોક્ટર સાહેબ શું તમારું શું કહેવું છે આ વિશે કે તમે કયો ફેક્ટર છે જોક ને એકમાત્ર જો if there is one thing કે joke should have, what would that be? શું હોવું જોઈએ?
ના, સાચી વાત છે. કનેક્ટિવિટી એ બહુ જરૂરી છે.
જી.
અમારા લોક સાહિત્યમાં એક દુહો છે કે સાહિત્યમાં શબ્દો ભર્યા, એમાં શ્યામની જો સહી નથી તો કાગળ બતાવે કારણો, આના કાળજામાં કઈ નથી.
વાહ.
અને અમારા કાઠિયાવાડમાં એક કહેવત છે કે ઉગે ને એટલે તમને અંદરથી આવે ગળામાં જે ઉલટ થઈ, તમને જે ઉગે ને એને દુનિયામાં કોઈ ન પૂગે. તમને અનુભવાય જે વસ્તુ તમને અનુભવાય છે, જે તમે અનુભવશો એનો જ અનુભવ તમે સામેવાળાને કરાવી શકશો. આપણી રાજા મહારાજાઓની સભાઓમાં જે તે સમયે ત્યારે અમિતભાઈ ખાસ ઓજસભાઈ તમે બે ગુજરાતી સમજી શકો છો એટલે
ના, અને તમે હમણાં મેં કીધું કે થોડું હું નીચે ચેકિંગ કરાવ્યો હતો એ કે અમારા કાઠિયાવાડમાં નહીં, મેં કીધું આપણા કાઠિયાવાડમાં, અહીંયા કાઠિયાવાડી જ છે.
Help me understand this gold.
I will. Don't worry, I'm here.
Yes, we shall definitely.
Yeah, I know this by well.
એમને તમે ઇંગ્લિશમાં થોડું સમજાવી દેજો.
એમણે હમણાં એ જ કે આખો કે ભીષ્મ જેવી હાલત
એમાં શું થોડું જાજુ થાય છે ને એટલે ભાઈ ચિંતામાં આવી જાય છે કે ભાઈ મને પછી બધું ભેગું થઈ જશે, કેમ કરશો?
We will definitely give you that once we hear from him. Yes.
એટલે એ પાદપૂર્તિઓ આવતી અને એ પાદપૂર્તિમાં ઘણું જાણવાનું મૂકેલું હતું. એ સામેવાળાએ જે અનુભવ્યું છે એ વક્તા અનુભવે છે ત્યારે થાય એવી એક પાદપૂર્તિ કે કિણમુખ પાવા ખીર. દુહાનું એક ચરણ આપવામાં આવે કે દૂધ કયા મોઢે પીવડાવવું. હવે આને સામેવાળો કવિ, શીઘ્ર કવિ, એને 4 ચરણના એક દુહામાં 2 લીટી 4 ચરણ 4 ચરણના એક દુહામાં પૂરું કરે તરત જ શીઘ્ર કે જદ રાવણ જન્મ્યો 20 ભુજા 10 શીર. જયારે રાવણનો જન્મ થયો ત્યારે એને 20 ભુજાઓ હતી ને 10 માથા હતા. જદ રાવણ જન્મ્યો 20 ભુજા 10 શીર, ઈણરી માને અચંબો હુઓ કે કિણમુખ પાવા ખીર. અને 10 માથા છે, કયા મોઢામાં હું એને દૂધ પીવડાવું. એને પોતે અનુભવી લીધું કે આ રાવણ વિશે જ કહેવા માંગે છે, તો જ એ એક્સપ્લેન કરી શકે.
બરાબર.
એટલે સૌથી પહેલા પોતાને અનુભવ થાય અને એ વાત તમે લાઇટલી આપો, એ હ્યુમરિસ્ટ નું કામ છે.
Right.
Will, what Dr. Saib is trying to tell us is he feels that it is the connectivity, yes, but I think the heart of what the joke is the experience or the self journey of that experience matters the most, so that you can convey the same feeling, the same experience, the same humor that you see in it, the comedian sees in it, or the humorist sees in it, and only then can he or she convey it better to the audience as opposed to a written joke. So if there is something where the comedian has gone through it, be it the pain, be it the humor, and then if that is conveyed, then there is nothing better in the world than that. So if it comes from within, which kind of feeds into what exactly Joshi ji said, is that the impulse, that the intuitive joke that comes from within, that joke is par excellence, and that joke will never be topped by anything from the audience, because they've not gone through it. So you have to take them along through that journey.
Now, I would love to add to that another layer, and that is that yes, connectivity, and yes, surprise, but in my view, the surprise is connected because you see the thing that you always took to be one thing and realize actually it's something else. That's the moment of the discovery, and that's the the aha moment. It's something that you've always assumed is one thing, but actually something else is going on. That laughter really is the body recalibrating, saying, what, this is not what I thought. And so if that story that you're relating, the thing that's, come true for you, involves your own discovery, your own epiphany, or your, a recounting of it, or maybe in the moment, your discovery. Then you walk with the audience as they
Right.
make that discovery. Rather than just revealing something new, it's something new that helps you see what you thought you knew in a new way. To me, that's bringing both together and adding, Dr. Vank, to what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something that. So is it something that the comedian has also felt, the audience has also felt, but the comedian shows a different way of feeling it? Is that what it is?
Right.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Very true.
Or
I mean,
a
I'm just.
revelation about it.
Yeah, in fact, I'm just going through my sets, and I was like, I just had an aha moment that yes, that is what they've been laughing on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and your opening question about great comedians you've seen, I was thinking about that yesterday and thinking it's not so much that I have this array of comedians, but ways of looking at comedians that are good and realizing what it is that they're doing, the why of it. Because
Right.
then if you understand that, you don't have to copy them. You can
True.
understand the why.
You can understand
To
the
me, the
reason.
why is so. There's a marvelous story about the great English actor Laurence Olivier
Mhm.
finishing a performance, going back to his green room, and he was mad as hell. And his co-actor said, "Larry, why are you so mad? You were brilliant out there tonight." And Olivier said, "I know I was brilliant, but I don't know why, so I can't repeat it." That's the difference between impulse
Now,
and actually
as
understanding
a
the
performer now,
mechanics of
like
it.
we can relate it to, like as a performer, we can relate it to the couple of performances which we were like awesome. Both we and the audience knows. But if we know the why, we can like repeat it or we can understand, and it's not just the
Right.
thing which happened.
Yeah. So those pieces of it, and I think that is it. Is it that the joke teller has that revelation, or is relating the moment that he or she had that revelation, or allows the audience with that gap, that pause, to make their own revelation?
Right.
Where does that revelation happen? And the ha 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 is the body saying, "Wait, this is not what I thought." I'm getting reoriented and seeing it in a new way.
All right. So we are
I
going to
think-
some. Yeah, sure, Gunjan sir, please.
I think as an artist, it's our duty that we understand the impulse and recreate it or make it your grammar. And when you create something else, and then that grammar work with the new impulse. So I think learning and applying with impulse is the key of comedy.
We'll
So,
take
so
a-
there is a lot of
yeah.
feedback systems.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be like processing it.
Yeah, so that guy, I don't know why. I think that's a wrong interpretation of impulse. He should know why. If he's an artist, he should know why people are laughing on this joke, which is an impulsive joke.
Exactly, the finding that mechanics.
Yeah, so that's your knowledge now. That become your knowledge. That become your trick and mechanism. And with this mechanism, you work on another impulse.
Right. So you're not trying to repeat that, but you are trying to understand that and then try something else with another impulse.
Yeah, and that's how you become rich in your writing, in your performance, and in everything.
Right. So before we go up onto the conclusion of the session, would like to hear some of the people to hear, some of the humorists or comedians to read / must see / must observe, or would like to hear some of the comedy events which are the landmark events into the comedy industry of the state, country / globe. So two things I want to hear. One is couple of names, couple of books, couple of shows that one must see, and the another thing is the landmark events or the landmark genres or the landmark years which shifted humor onto the another level into Gujarat / India / globe. So I guess we'll start with Dr. Vank. એવા કેટલાક નામ સાહેબ કે જે આપણે સાંભળવા સમજવા જોઈએ દરેક પેઢીએ, અને એવા એક બે ઇવેન્ટ કે એવી એક બે વસ્તુઓ કે જેમ એમ થયું કે આ આવ્યું કે આ થયું, આ ઘટના ઘટી, એના પછી વાર્તામાં ચેન્જ આવ્યો. આ બે સવાલ. યસ.
અથવા પુસ્તકો પણ.
પુસ્તકો પણ બિલકુલ.
જેમ કે અમારા ડાયરાની દુનિયામાં કાનજી ભૂટા બારોટ, એને દુનિયા લોક વાર્તાકાર તરીકે જ ઓળખે છે. કદાચ 3 મિત્રો એ હું કાનજી ભૂટા બારોટ કહું તો એમને કદાચ સ્ટ્રાઇક ન થાય કે એ કલાકાર કોણ એમ.
જી.
પણ ભારત સરકારે જેમને પદ્મશ્રીનો ખિતાબ આપેલો, અને કાળિયો ઢગો નામની જેમની હાસ્ય કથા એ એટલી બધી વખણાયેલી દુનિયામાં કે જેના લેંગ્વેજ વર્ઝન થયેલા, એવું જ એક નામ એટલે હીરાભલા વ્યાસ. અને અત્યારના સમયમાં હાસ્યની વાતો, એ જીવનનું ગૂઢ રહસ્ય એકદમ સરળ અને હળવી શૈલીમાં, જેમને ભારત સરકારે હમણાં જ પદ્મશ્રીનો ખિતાબ આપ્યો, ભીખુદાનભાઈ ગઢવી અને પદ્મશ્રી શાહબુદ્દીન સાહેબ રાઠોડ. એ રિવોલ્યુશન લાવનારા વ્યક્તિઓ અમારા ડાયરાની દુનિયામાં જેને કહી શકાય, એ આ 3-4 નામ છે. જેમ કે શાહબુદ્દીન સાહેબ ઇંગ્લિશ લિટરેચરને કાઠિયાવાડી દેશી તળપદી વાતો સાથે જોડી અને રજૂ કરવી, એ જો કોઈએ કામ કર્યું હોય તો મારા ધ્યાનમાં છે ત્યાં સુધી સૌથી પહેલું શાહબુદ્દીન સાહેબ રાઠોડે કર્યું છે.
બિલકુલ બિલકુલ. એ માર્ક ટ્વેનનો કે કોઈ એક મોટા વિચારકનો ઇંગ્લિશ કોટ પણ કહેતા, અને પછી એની સાથે આપણને એવું કંઈક સરસ કનેક્શન જોડી આપતા આપણી પોતાની આસપાસ, કે બહુ સરળ રીતે સમજાતી એ ઘટના.
માત્ર ઇંગ્લિશ નહીં, ગુજરાતી પણ એ સાહિત્ય એટલું બધું પીરસતા. ઇનફેક્ટ મને નાનપણમાં કે બધી મજાઓ હતી રાતે રાતે ને સંતાપો એનો સવારે સવારે, મારું મગજ કામ ના કરે. મને એમ થયું કે શું લાઈન છે, કોણે લખી છે, ને પછી મને ત્યાં જઈને ખબર પડી કે મરીઝ સાહેબની લાઈન, અને પછી હું એ તરફ કેળવાયો કે આ વાંચવું જોઈએ, આ શું કે છે. અને પછી જયારે જોક કનેક્ટ થાય ત્યારે આપણને વધારે મજા આવે. એટલે એ ખાલી એટલે ઇંગ્લિશ તો ખરું જ, પણ એની સાથે ગુજરાતીઓને ગુજરાતી સાથે એ સેતુ બાંધી આપ્યા હતા.
સેતુ બાંધ્યો. ઓજસભાઈ, તમારા મતે એવા કોઈ નામ અથવા એવા કોઈ લેન્ડમાર્ક ઇવેન્ટ્સ ઇનટુ ધી કોમેડી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી?
ડેફિનેટલી ડોક્ટર સાહેબ જે નામ આપ્યા છે, ઓબ્વિયસલી ધોઝ 2 names are legendary અને exceptional. See, they are celebrated, yes, they are world famous, yes, they are awarded, yes, but સૌથી વધારેમાં વધારે પદવી જો હું એમને આપું તો they are important comedians. બહુ જ જરૂરી comedians છે, because these people were the bridge between literature, because we're talking about literature. So literature અને comedy, અથવા literature ને comedy માં Will and Joshiji, these are the 2 comedians that Dr. Vank has just mentioned, who have exponential contribution in the Gujarati comedy scene. Both of them, શાહબુદ્દીનભાઈ રાઠોડ અને જે ભીખુદાનભાઈ ગઢવી કહીએ આપણે, તો ભીખુદાનભાઈ ગઢવી, and these people brought literature which was written by poets, by literateurs, by playwrights, and from around the world, and then connected it, or they used it during the set, during the performance, and they connected it to daily life. They connected it to experiences of you and me, of a mother and a child, of 2 friends, of a husband and a wife, so on and so forth. So that is why these 2 people, yes, very celebrated, but also very important comedians. So I will give those 2 names definitely. But other than that also, somebody who very similar, somebody who has, I think, inspired me a lot is the actor comedian Robin Williams,
of course,
and Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey ni physical comedy, Robin Williams ek संवेदनशील कलाकार, a very sensible actor / comedian. That would be somebody who I really looked up to. And in terms of performances to look forward to, I mean, the Royal Shakespeare Company in London, who they do parodies of Shakespeare. So that is wonderful, because parody is the best form of flattery. So they pick up, they do an entire series called the abridged works of Shakespeare. And this is online. तो कोई ने जो जब भी जिनको भी समय मिलता है तो जोशी जी डॉक्टर वांक તમને જો સમય મળે તો જો એ અબ્રિજ ધ રોયલ શેક્સપિયર કંપની છે હા the abridged version of Shakespeare, and this is by the Royal Shakespeare Company. It is a parody of the whole they pick up all the Shakespeare plays, they put it together in one performance. And so these are just some examples, but like to hear from Will also and Joshi ji also.
Yes. Gunjan, according to you, couple of names, couple of books, or maybe the comedy events
or performances that
तो मैं हिंदी की बात करता हूँ. मतलब मुझे तो लगता है कि अगर जब भी कॉमेडी की बात आती है तो मेरे लिए जो दो लोग सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है, एक्चुअली तीन. शरद जोशी साहब,
अरे
हरिशंकर परसाई साहब,
परसाई जी,
हाँ परसाई जी. इन दोनों का जो अंदाज है वो बड़ा कमाल का है, और वो छोटे से अंदाज में जो बात कह जाते हैं वो कमाल है. जैसे मैं उनकी बहुत छोटी सी रचना थी कि वो मैं मतलब अभी बताना चाहूंगा, परसाई जी की है कि हर साल की तरह इस बार भी गणपति हो रहे थे, और सबसे पहले ब्राह्मणों के गणपति जी निकलने थे, उसके बाद बाकी गणपति जी निकलने थे. इस बार ब्राह्मणों के गणपति जी निकलने में थोड़ी देर हो गई, तो तेलियों के गणपति पहले निकल गए. इस पर ब्राह्मणों ने गुस्सा करके कहा, तेलियों के गणपति की ऐसी की तैसी, पहले तो ब्राह्मण का गणपति जाएगा. So that's क्लियर है, क्या कहना चाहते हो क्लियर है, इसमें आपने बहुत कुछ कह दिया. तो आई थिंक और शरद जी का भी यही अंदाज है जी. तो इन दोनों को देख के सीख के बड़े हुए इनसे.
मुझे परसाई जी इसलिए पसंद है क्योंकि मेरे गुरु द लेट कुंदन शाह, उन्होंने परसाई जी कहते हैं नाम की पूरी एक धारावाहिक की थी.
हाँ बिल्कुल. और कृष्णचंद्र साहब, उनकी खासतौर पे गधा सीरीज जो है, एक था गधा, एक गधे की वापसी, एक गधा नेफाम में, दैट अमेजिंग. कॉमेडी के लिए वो देखना चाहिए. इसके अलावा मुझे लगता है कि अगर आपने कुछ विदेशी एक्टर के नाम लिए, मुझे लगता है संजीव कुमार साहब, देवेन वर्मा साहब, और अगर इन दोनों की बात हो रही तो फिर अंगूर फिल्म.
अरे अंगूर,
सो अंगूर फिल्म वगैरह, ये कुछ चीजें जो देखनी चाहिए. मुझे लगता है कि आप कैसे भी कॉमेडी करें, आपको अंगूर, गोलमाल,
ओरिजिनल गोलमाल,
और अंदाज अपना,
फर्स्ट गोलमाल नहीं, ओल्ड गोलमाल नहीं, ओरिजिनल गोलमाल,
ओरिजिनल गोलमाल.
हाँ ओरिजिनल गोलमाल. या अमोल पालेकर साहब, उत्पल दत्त साहब, तो उत्पल दत्त हैं, उत्पल दत्त को आपको फॉलो करना चाहिए. संजीव कुमार साहब हैं आपके, गुजराती हैं. तो आई थिंक ये लोग हैं जिनको आपको थोड़ा देखना चाहिए, आप स्टैंडर्ड लेवल का सीख पाएंगे. बाकी फिर आपके पास 24 घंटे के लिए टीवी पर तो आ ही रहा है आज का, तो आपको उसका आज का फ्लेवर पता चल जाएगा, और क्लास जो है वो आप यहाँ से सीख पाएंगे. तो आई थिंक ये इंडिया के लिए ये चीजें हैं जो आपको होना चाहिए. आर.के. लक्ष्मण साहब और देवेंद्र करके कार्टूनिस्ट, अगर आप उनके कार्टून देखें तो वो भी काफी प्रभावित हैं.
Right. बिल्कुल. And would you like to add some names into that?
Just a couple to add in. One is a very minor Canadian comedian, as an example, to show an example of the kind of thing I'm talking about, of the relationship. A man called D.J. Demers. Okay. Last name is D-E-M-E-R-S. He was look on YouTube for the 2016 America's Got Talent. And in his very short routine, you can observe how he does that almost implied dialogue with the audience. It's just a lesson in how to do that brilliantly and low key. But on the other end of the scale, one of the best paid stand-up comedians in English is Michael Mcintyre. Yeah. And his programs are all over now he goes at a much faster pace, but you can observe how he is taking his revelations and his astonishment and inviting the audience to recognize with him what he's doing. So he's not just throwing stuff. It's all about, do you see this thing? Isn't this what I see? And so those are two very different scales, but ways to observe that mechanism. And in the next session that I'm in, I'll be talking much more about mechanics of things that I've learned.
Right.
But yeah, those two. The last thing, just to say about conversation, the implied conversation. In English, the word conversation, the root comes from versere, meaning to turn, to take a turn with, basically to go on a walk. And
Right.
con is with. So conversation is to go on a walk with someone.
Right.
And to me, that's what the comedy is all about. You know,
Wow.
it's the idea is you're going on a walk with someone, not just
Amazing.
telling them something. So
Right.
that's my final piece.
Yeah. Thank you, Will, and thank you, all four of you, every one of you, for joining this session. It was great and so much of learning. And I've taken a couple of notes, and this is definitely helping me and all the viewers a lot. So thank you, Gunjanji. Thank you, Dr. Vank. Thank you, Ojas Rawal. Thank you, Will, for joining into this session.